we're pleased to present bonus coverage of Game 1 of tonight's doubleheader.
Thank you, JD. It is 11-9 Phoenix here, joined by Bill Walton and Lisa Salters. The Suns opened up red hot from the field. They've missed their last few. Meantime, the Lakers are 4 of 8. Kobe has 5. The Phoenix scoring's been balanced. Raja Bell's at the line. Nobody's picked up major foul trouble except for Bryant, who has 2 after the whistle right before we got here, Bill.
The Lakers already playing shorthanded due to injuries. They've got a situation where they're coming off a tough loss at Denver last night. They're playing against a team, Phoenix, the best starting team in the entire NBA, blistering first quarter paces. But they're also playing a team, Phoenix, who they have not beaten since Steve Nash has come over to the Valley of the Sun.
Winning 6 in a row, Kwame Brown gets the rebound. Bryant Cook cutting inside, calls for the travel by Jess Kersey. The 29-year veteran works this game with Mike Callahan and Olandis Poole.
Phoenix has to make this a game of quickness. They don't have size. Without Amari Stoudemire, without Kurt Thomas, they've just got to get going up and down. The Lakers, their advantage is going to be inside, plus getting the ball to Kobe Bryant a lot.
Boris Diaw from the outside misses. Bryant gets the board. The Lakers come here after losing in overtime to Denver by a bucket last night. Was Parker inside to Kwame Brown, who has been very good since Chris Mim has been out with his ankle injury. Phil Jackson hoping to get Mim back before the playoffs, maybe next week. James Jones missed the 3, and there's Kobe again on the board.
Hugely important game for Phoenix tonight psychologically. In our meeting with Mike D'Antoni, he says that the team was not spirited enough in the crushing loss Wednesday night to the Clippers here at U.S. Airways Arena. Kobe Bryant continues his record-breaking assault here. 3 straight 40-plus games. Raja Bell down the lane
to James Jones, beaten by Bryant on the other end, gets the hoop inside. Jones, the 30-year man out of Miami. Kobe has not had 40, but 39 and 37 in his 2 games against Phoenix this year. In the past, Raja Bell has given Bryant some problems, but Kobe seems to be getting the better of that matchup, and that's the one you want with 6 to shoot.
Offensive foul. Bryant Cook now with 3. They wave off that play. He flashed in from the weak side. Phil Jackson cannot be happy. Kobe Bryant, though, just spectacular. The league's leading scorer right now. He's keeping the Lakers alive all by himself. How long can that last? Forward Elgin Baylor. In most 40-point-plus games in one season for the Lakers, Elgin had 23 back in the early 60s. But D'Antoni's strategy against Kobe is to let him get off and make sure the other guys don't, and hope that even if Kobe gets 83, then the rest of the guys combined won't be able to match the Suns' team game.
Both makes by Steve Nash have been 3s, and Smush Parker responds, the 30-year man out of Fordham, part of his trail to get to the Lakers, where he started every game this year, included a couple of 10-day contracts here last year in Phoenix, at a time when Steve Nash was shut down for a couple of games. And Phoenix lost all of those games. They didn't lose many last year. Kim Thomas, the acquisition a month ago, off the mark, and Luke Walton, who checked in because of Lamar Odom's 3 personal fouls, comes in. Very popular here in the state, of course, starring a couple hours down the road with the Wildcats for his college days.
University of Arizona, the Hall of Fame coach Lute Olson. Raja Bell battling Kobe.
Leandro Barbosa brings it back. Oh, Nash to Tim Thomas. Wow.
And that's why Steve Nash is a leading candidate to repeat as MVP in this league.
Kwame Brown using his presence inside. Didn't finish. Click comes right back to him. Still can't finish. It's out of bounds off of.
Oh my God.
Kwame Brown. Suns ball.
That is a very frustrating moment for all Laker fans. Steve Nash in transition. Everybody trying to find out where he's going. He tricked everyone in the building except for Kim Thomas. When you're playing with a great one, just keep moving all the time. He'll find you.
He makes you say, wow, 2 or 3 times per game. He goes right in, wrap around to Bell. He won't get the assist if it's Barbosa 3. goes in, but he deserves it. And Phil Jackson will get up and take a timeout.
Phoenix has 3 players in their roster who are in the top 6 of three-point percentage in this league. And Steve Nash, the reigning MVP, no one elicits more oohs and ahs and oh my gosh than that guy, Steve Nash, who did not win the genetic lottery.
He joins us with more. Lisa.
Well, Mike, ask the players that now playing in Los Angeles next Sunday. We would definitely have the edge going into that series. Mike?
Well, Lisa, this would be the matchup because right now Phoenix stands at the 2 seed. The Lakers the 7. Kobe very hot. He has opened 4 of 6. Couple of triples. Has 10 of the Lakers' 17.
I agree with Eddie House and Lisa Salters. I think this game is more important to the Phoenix Suns. The last 10 games, they are one of the worst teams in the Western Conference. The only teams of the last 10 games who have been worse than Phoenix have been Houston, who've had a deplorable season, and Golden State and Portland, who are barely trying to hang on and even stay in the NBA at this point.
Well, I think they'll be retained for next year, but it has been a struggle, and we'll talk about why momentarily. After the Barbosa hoop, here's another foul. But on the attempting to guard Kobe Bryant by Raja Bell, he has 2. So, even with what you saw already tonight, the Dallas victory in San Antonio, still San Antonio's the 1, Phoenix the 2 because Dallas would slide down. So this Phoenix from behind as Bryant loads up and misses the 3. The Kings are just a game behind the Lakers for the 7th spot.
Sacramento playing in Los Angeles tonight against the Clippers, and if the Kings play the way they played against San Antonio on Wednesday night in the River City, Sacramento has a great chance to win the Western Division and the conference, go all the way to the finals.
Sacramento can't win the West. Phil, here's Walton.
In the playoffs.
In the playoffs. You think Sacramento could win 3 playoff series?
The way they played the other night.
I know. I heard that.
Rotation.
Okay.
That was as great a game as I've seen the Sacramento team ever play.
Well, they had some good games against the Lakers 3-4 years ago, where they took them to 7 in the conference finals.
But they never beat them.
I know, but they did win some good regular season games. Offensive foul on Kobe. So even with 2 fouls, Raja Bell has still been physical and aggressive on Bryant the last 2 trips and draws one on the All-Star.
Raja Bell, who was slowly working his way into the category of the Bruce Bowen. Look at the left side of your screen right there. I can only clear that thing. Kobe Bryant. That thing would be called the telescope.
It's good, Bill. We can label things if you want here. I know it's the first game you've done today. Eddie House, who Lisa alluded to earlier, checked in. At the last time out, Sasha Vujacic came off the Laker bench. Here's Tim Thomas off the glass. Couldn't finish it. Vujacic couldn't catch the rebound, but Lamar Odom has it. Sasha, you can't get rebounds. Sorry. They're for Lamar's stat sheet.
But now you've got Sean Marion guarding Kobe Bryant. With Raja Bell taking a little bit of a rest right now, I'd isolate Kobe and let him just go right around Sean Marion.
Tough turn. Bryant, 5 field goals. He has a dozen of the Lakers, 21.
That's the toughest shot in basketball for a score.
Eddie House, the quick shooter, continuing his 4th quarter run. He was the only Sun to give them a chance in the loss Wednesday night here on ESPN to the Clippers, 119-105. And the game before that, of course, Phoenix lost in Detroit on ABC on Sunday by 7.
First game back after a long road trip, always tough. Kobe Bryant is just sizzling. His level of perfection, to be able to turn back. The only guys in history who've been able to do that consistently, Michael Jordan, Oscar Robertson, and Jerry West.
The steal by Bryant.
Horrendous pass by Boris Diaw. And he's too good a player to do that.
No, nobody stops the ball. Bryant has 16 in the quarter, 7 of 10 from the field.
It's a great sign for Los Angeles because Phoenix, they always have a worse second, third, and fourth quarters shooting-wise than they do first quarters. Numbers for the Lakers right now.
It's 5 on 3. Kobe feeling it. Going to go right at Diaw. And knock down that one. What a quarter again for Bryant.
So frustrated, Kobe Bryant, with the disappointing defeat last night. Heartbreaking. They had a chance to win it a couple times and couldn't get it done in overtime. Right now, Kobe Bryant determined to make it happen tonight.
Barbosa on the take. 16 the difference game in shot clock. Back end of the first.
Beautiful pass.
Inside for Diaw, who beats the shot clock. One shot for L.A. Wonder who might take it.
Interesting for Kobe Bryant is that normally, unlike Phoenix, he's better at the end of the game than he is at the beginning of the game.
Fans reacting as Bryant is watched by Marion. Draws the defense, misses the shot, and the first quarter comes to an end. Well, Phoenix has the lead. Steve Nash brought him out of their seats once, but so did Kobe. 18 first quarter points on his way to a fourth consecutive 40-point-plus game. I think they will. This could be a first-round playoff matchup. Wouldn't be intriguing. The top performers in the NBA on their game after one. He clearly leads Iverson, LeBron James, Gilbert Arenas, and Dwayne Wade for the scoring title. As we start the second quarter, Bryant is on the bench. Vujacic, the miss, joined by Luke Walton, Devin George, Smush Parker, and Lamar Odom, and it will stay with the Lakers.
Interesting shot selection by Sasha that time. Early in the shot clock, just getting into the game. Maybe think about kicking it around, moving the triangle, getting everybody else involved. Try to get the ball to Lamar Odom a little bit and let him get a rhythm going.
Sean Marion comes to the bench. Didn't take a shot there in the first 12 minutes and change. No points for Marion, the outstanding scoring leader for Phoenix. Devin George missed. Luke Walton knocked it out of bounds, and it will be Phoenix ball. There is Sean on the bench for the Suns, who are 49-25. And as Lisa mentioned, they're 7-8 in their last 15. That after the 11-game win streak that gave them this 5-game cushion ahead of the Clippers for the Pacific Division title. Eddie House made his first. Smush Parker changed his second shot.
Phoenix is tired. They're emotionally drained. The fact that Amari Stoudemire comes back and there was so much hope and expectations, and then all of a sudden he's out. There's deflation there.
And to shoot, Odom, who has been shooting a lot of threes and making them at a decent rate of late, he's off the mark.
The best thing about Kobe Bryant's 18-point first quarter is that they're right now in this game. And with the fact that they played the overtime game last night, the great start that the Suns always get has been negated.
Nice pass by Tim Thomas to James Jones. And he knocks down the three. 38% shooter.
Phoenix, there's just never any doubt or hesitation. We're just out here to play ball and have it be the fastest, quickest pace possible. You got the gunners like James Jones, Eddie House. You can play the offense with Boris Diaw right here, who's one of the most unique players in the entire league.
Starting center at 6'8", off the miss by House. Parker gets the rebound. You watch the scores go by. Every game, it seems, has some significance in the standings as we get down to the playoffs, which start 2 weeks from tomorrow. Luke Walton, 4-3. Luke missed that three at the end of the game last night as LA lost in Denver, getting the game to overtime. Luke had heavy minutes for the Lakers in this rotation with really Luke, Devin George, Rony Turiaf, and Sasha Vujacic for Phil Jackson off the bench right now.
37 minutes for Luke Walton last night. Coach Jackson said it's good to see other people than Kobe taking the game-winning shots. But we pointed out that it's best that you make those shots.
Barbosa with the miss. Jones! 2 tries at it, and Vujacic comes away with it. Sasha, the second-year guard out of Slovenia. Lakers' first-round pick at the end of the opening rounds in 04. Off the Parker miss, back come the Suns. The rest of the non-Kobe Lakers are struggling.
Tim Thomas has got to catch that ball. You've seen big men, Tim Thomas, Kwame Brown for the Lakers, right underneath the basket, point-blank range, stick a fork in it. What I love about the Phoenix Suns is that their guards don't come back to the ball on defensive rebounds. They are moving up the court, and they are waiting for their big men to outlet the ball up the court as opposed to the other direction.
Job by Odom. He has such a big frame and can be so mobile, and that time he just got Tim Thomas spinning like a top.
Lamar Odom is as tall as I am, and there's nobody else in this game that comes close to that. He should have a field day at the basket area.
House off the screen by Diaw, and there's Tim Thomas unable to squeeze the rebound, and back come the Lakers.
Boris Diaw's dribble handoff, the thing of beauty.
And it's going to be an offensive foul on Lamar Odom as James Jones was there to absorb the contact, although Lamar, there's a little conversation for Mike Callahan.
Phoenix needs to take advantage of the fact that Kobe's on the bench. Lamar Odom doing everything he can to get the Lakers back on top in this critically important. Same player that averaged 40 points a game last year in the Western Conference Finals against San Antonio. NBA basketball is not like that. You don't go through that kind of surgery, which normally takes years to get better. So few players in the history of athletics have ever come back from that microfracture surgery.
Diao takes it inside for the hoop. That's the surgery Chris Webber had a couple of years ago as well. Sotomayor had that surgery on his left knee back before the season started. And then the surgery he had this past week was arthroscopic surgery, a clean out of the other knee, the right knee.
And to drain a cyst right behind the kneecap. This is serious stuff.
Bryant back on the floor. First shot of the quarter, picks up where he left off in the first. He now has 20 points. By the way, the 18 in the first quarter. Kobe had a 30-point quarter earlier this season against Dallas. Raja Bell.
And as far as Amari Stoudemire's surgery being minor, I don't buy that at all. Anytime they operate on you, I always thought that minor surgery is something that they do on the other guy.
Luke Walton doubled, able to find the former son Jim Jackson, who missed, and Luke picks up the foul behind the play. Talk about the microfracture surgery. Here are the players who have undergone that procedure.
And an analysis of their numbers. 50 years old now, they got to give him all the time he needs. No rush back for Amari.
Leandro Barbosa turns it over. Back come the Lakers. It's Walton, Devin George, Jim Jackson, Sasha Vujacic, and Kobe. Deflected a foul. Should have been called on Devin George 2 different times. It was not. And thus the Lakers have a 5-on-3. And Kobe misses the 3. But right to George. Man, Steve Nash.
This is embarrassing.
He got banged twice, and they had every right. It's a tough spot where the play was because it was away from any of the officials. So watch him get hit in the face and the back.
Steve Nash up in the passing lane. That angle right there shows Steve grabbing him and maybe initially inside and then wrapping his arm around the front. Steve Nash. What is this, roller derby? Call off the jam.
I did see the arm hooked by Steve Nash as they were going for the ball, but the slap in the face usually doesn't get by. NBA TV tomorrow has the struggling Heat at the Wizards. Washington lost tonight. On ABC, you'll see the Pacers in Detroit to take on the Pistons. TNT next Thursday, the Knicks at Cleveland, followed by the Mavericks here in Phoenix. That doubleheader begins at 8 Eastern.
Detroit is just a great team. And they would be a great team in any era. Right now, they are so far ahead of everyone else. But Miami's got the injuries. Beautiful passing.
Jones missed. Vujacic back the other way. It's been a quiet quarter for the Suns, who have only scored 7 points.
They got to milk Kobe Bryant. The guy is on fire. He's isolated against Steve Nash, who has no chance to guard Kobe out there.
He misses. Tough shot forced. As Nash stayed close.
But Kobe had to wait so long for it. Barbosa. What a player.
Steve Nash had the ball for less than 2/10 of a second, but still will pick up the assist. As Barbosa has 8.
How about the story that Mike D'Antoni was telling us about Barbosa's health the other day?
Good job as Raja Bell steps in for the pass intended for Kobe. They were concerned with the way injuries have taken apart this team this year. Bell, a 3.
Bill Jackson, he needs a timeout right now. They were right there. The frustration, the disappointment, the inability to milk the hot hand of Kobe Bryant, get him going after the short rest. Lakers shooting themselves in the foot.
Steve Nash came down with a purpose. A couple of assists on back-to-back triples by Barbosa and Bell. Oklahoma City Hornets there, 38 losses with Sacramento, a tough game, and the
ball with little Stevie Nash. 8 points, 4 assists, tremendous from behind the arc. And Raja Bell continues to frustrate Kobe Bryant.
And Kobe, who has these 20 points without any free throws, will get to come to the free throw line after that foul. That one's on Sean Marion. This is a 9-point Phoenix lead, their largest of the night. And the Lakers come to the line for the 3rd time here this evening.
The Lakers are the youngest team in the NBA of all the teams that have winning records. It's interesting to talk to Phil Jackson before the game when we asked him, Okay, Phil, which one of the guys on your team has grown enough to be able to challenge Kobe? In life, on the court, you're shooting too much. You're not guarding this guy correctly. And Phil looked back at us, perplexed, dumbfounded, and said, well, we haven't got to that point yet. The coaching staff is able to do it, but it is yet to evolve on our team.
Did he look back at us perplexed or you?
Well, he always looks perplexed at me.
Jim Jackson, one of the veterans, one of the few guys over the age 30, fouls Leandro Barbosa, who's going to have a chance for the conventional three-point play.
Barbosa was hooked up to IVs all week. They thought he was suffering from maybe meningitis or desert fever.
Well, Monday he came in with a case of the flu, and they were concerned, took him to the hospital, and they even did a spinal tap to check if he did have a form of meningitis. Fortunately, he was fine and came back and played quite well in the loss Wednesday, playing 32 minutes and scoring 19 against the Clippers. His free throws there, and Mike D'Antoni's team has the first double-digit lead of this west end of NBA Friday here on ESPN.
Have you ever had a spinal tap?
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Spinal Tap?
Parker with the miss, and back comes Sean Marion, 5-on-4 for the Suns. Bell is fouled by Devin George.
I think Phoenix is right in line to take it to 11 right now with Spinal Tap.
Didn't you understand? I shut you down there. I was just trying to move forward. Head down, move forward. Suns ball out of bounds. This is the last road game for the Lakers. They will close with the rest of the stretch at Staples, Clippers, Golden State, Portland, Phoenix, and the Hornets. Barbosa feeling it here off the bench. Leandro Barbosa is the only other player, along with Bryant, in double figures. He has 13. And Phil Jackson did tell us when he was not perplexed before the game that that's the guy who gives them problems, Barbosa. Push Parker, a three. And foul. We wave it off. Let's see. Jeff Curcio, you're going to count the basket and call the loose ball foul.
On Kobe Bryant throwing someone to the ground out there. Was it be Roger Bell?
Discarded Bell earlier. That is 2 on Kobe, the loose ball foul. The 3 counts for Parker.
And both of Kobe's fouls are offensive fouls. Kobe wheels, try to get to the offensive glass. I think that was more of a case of being off balance than an over-aggressive push.
It's 6'5", 210, moves pretty quick to the ground with Raj. I know Kobe did all the strengthening in the upper body 2 years ago. Dial finds the hot man, Barbosa. A really interesting skill set. Remember Bill when he came in 3 years ago? Everybody thought he was a point guard, but he scored so much. Well, maybe he's an off guard. Maybe he's just one of those guys who is a plain old guard. You know Kobe wants to take a shot, by the way.
The beautiful thing about Phoenix is that when you get hot, they milk you.
Beautiful block by Dial on Parker.
And the crowd comes alive, rising as one. Boris Dial, who is in that group of players like Steve Nash, who is just so important to their team. When he plays center, I know they have Amari, I know they have Kurt Thomas, but when he plays center, that's when the Phoenix Suns, for me, are the most exciting and they're the most dangerous.
Even Amari, deep 3 Kobe. I told you on that trip he wanted to take the shot. Bryant now has 24 of the Los Angeles 42. He's on his way to being their leading scorer one more night for the 29th straight game. The response from Nash, who now has 10 points to go with his 5 assists.
Steve Nash is number 3 in field goal percentage in the NBA. Oh, blocking foul underneath. But since the All-Star break, Steve Nash is number 3 in the NBA in field goal percentage. Number 2 is Boris Diaw. Number 1, Shaquille O'Neal, who is on his way to his 7th NBA field goal percentage title, second only to Wilt Chamberlain's 9.
So Parker will come to the line. He has started every game. Really a question coming into the season for the Lakers. One was to be the point guard to take him all the way through the season, and he has started every night for Phil Jackson. From NBA Street V3 to Shaq TV, NBAStore.com is all the latest releases for your basketball library. Check out the latest DVD releases now. It's NBAStore.com. 1 of 2 at the line. for the undrafted Parker.
This is such a demanding league, but Smush Parker is one of 22 players who have started every game for their team this year, but Smush is only one of 5 players who were not first-round draft picks. The others being Ben Wallace, Bruce Bowen, Memo Okur, and Eric Snow.
10-point Laker deficit. Bryant misses. That's his 7th miss on this high-scoring first half. He's 10-17. Nash to Diao.
Now that is beautiful basketball.
Assist 6 for Steve. They all collapse on Kobe, and the foul is called.
Up and down the court, Boris Diaw, the give and go, Magic Johnson. This guy is special, Boris Diaw.
I'd love to combine the length of time Steve has had the ball in his hands for those 6 assists. He gets it so quick that obviously nobody can react. There was conversation as the players were assembling at the line to shoot free throws, but Mike D'Antoni got up off the bench to tell Jess Kersey only team foul 4, which is correct. Kobe was not in the act of shooting, so just Laker ball out of bounds. We come to 3 minutes here in the frame. Jackson at 2. Lamar Odom, tallest on the floor, gets the board. And Parker 3 for 3. That's good.
What a touch. But when you talk about Boris Diaw, he is one of 3 players in this league who average 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists at least. The other 2 are LeBron and Jason Kidd.
Well, it's a pretty good game for Phoenix, Bill, because Sean Marion went the first 22 minutes without scoring until that hoop. That was his first field goal attempt as well, and still the Suns lead by 11. Devin George had the in-rhythm 3, got himself out of rhythm, missed the 2, and Nash on the push.
But because of Little Stevie and Boris and Mike D'Antoni, there's no sense of jealousy on this team. It's all about winning and playing well and just doing whatever you can to get the job done as a squad.
Kobe pulls up for 3. Missed his last couple, and the rebound for Barbosa.
Look at the way they run, just up and down. Tease him, Stevie.
Oh, why not? I mean, you think he's going to pass because that's what he does so well. And left the easy hoop for Nash, who has 7 assists. This is the largest lead in the game at 13.
All the best passers are the best offensive players, the guys who are looking to attack. How great of a passer was Steve Maravich? How about Bob Cousy? How about Magic Johnson? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
And it's contagious. Bell, so on the tape, it was 2. Lakers need to run some half-court offense. They've been helter-skelter, but that's the beauty that we've seen in Phoenix the last 2 years. They mess up your offense just as much as they compromise your defense. Bryant, a tough shot.
What we're seeing tonight is the same thing we witnessed last night. Over the top! Oh, Sean Marion can't get it done, but
the Lakers didn't hustle to get the loose ball, and Phoenix keeps it alive.
We're seeing last night Detroit playing as a team, beating, granted, an injury-depleted Miami squad, but just 2 players.
Nash lulled Odom to sleep. Lamar leaning back, thinking Steve was going to take him inside. And Phoenix has shot 57% from the field and has a 13-point lead.
This is a game of quickness and decision-making, and the change of pace, change of direction that Steve Nash brings is just exquisite to watch.
Kobe shaking, making, and taking. 28-point first half for Bryant. Nash says that's fine. If you would like to just set up a series of purple-clad ushers to the rim, I'll be glad to walk down. 16 for Steve.
The best I ever saw in the history of basketball at that was Pete Maravich. He would use all 9 players on the court. Magic and Bird were great at that too, but Pete on the fly, unparalleled.
Kobe looking for a 30-point half. And he'll get to do it at the free throw line. Lamar Odom pushing on the back end of this play with Raja Bell. Words exchanged here. Let's see what the officials will call. Olandis Poole doing a nice job stepping in to keep a secondary confrontation from occurring. And we will have the timeout under 3 minutes here. We didn't have that yet here in the half. Good time for Bill.
Circle Lamar Odom and Raja Bell as they get intertwine on a switch off the high screen roll. Kobe Bryant down the lane. Lamar Odom has perfect position. And then Raja Bell fighting, pushing. Lamar Odom comes back and inexplicably. Maurice Lucas years ago just only hit guys who were bigger and jostling for rebound position. Uncalled for.
So Steve Nash, who missed a technical Wednesday night against the Clippers, and that kind of sent the Suns south.
The Lakers last night in their 110-108 overtime loss, they gave up 100 points plus for the first time in the last 10 games. Their best under 100 run since February of 2002 when they were a championship-level team. Bill Jackson always stressing defense. Right now, we are looking at a 130-point pace here, and we still have time to go here.
Yeah, the number's slightly skewed because they did give up 99 in regulation, but your point's taken. Kobe, a 30-point first half. His team down a dozen, kicked out by Smush Parker, 3.6 remaining for the Suns.
Nice hands over here, Mike.
Well, it didn't get to us, but I reacted very well, Bill.
So what kind of a point guard were you? Were you a Freddie House? Eddie House? Or
point guard in the Tirico House is my wife. She was the captain of Syracuse. 1 second left, and the Suns will have it from underneath the basket.
Well, I mean, did you give it up, or
you were a like I said, Bill, all basketball talk from our family is my wife. She was the captain at Syracuse, point guard for 2 years, so I leave all basketball instruction in the NBA. Let's see what the Suns can do with a second. Never touched. The Devin George's shot is short as we come to the end of the first half.
When we get on run, that kind of thing happens over the whole course of 40
teams. It doesn't at the break-in. The Toyota halftime show is coming up. John and Legs and Greg in the studio. What's going on with Tim Duncan and the Spurs? We're giving the conversation with their performance on the floor. Here from Copper Square, downtown Phoenix, where they always put on a good show, the Suns.
The halftime is brought to you by Coors Light.
Back in the late 60s, since Dennis Autry, Santa Clara was ranked number 2 in the country.
Did they get as high as 2?
They got as high as 2 behind UCLA, and they would always get pummeled by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lucius Allen, Mike Warren, Sidney Wicks, Curtis Rose, an endless list.
Smush Parker starts the third with a 3. He misses. Kwame Brown very quiet in that half. Was out-hustled to the ball, by Sean Marion. And here's Bell to start with a 3.
I don't understand the Laker offense. You've got to come out and establish yourself right away, and Smush Parker, get something going when you're down 14.
And then he picked up his personal foul as he was trying to get in the way of Steve Nash. 2 on Smush. Dial, guarded by Kwame Brown. Cook, who picked up 3 fouls in the first 6 minutes, guarding James Jones. It's a tough shot for Jones, but again, another rebound that hits the floor goes to the Suns, and they don't really win many rebounding battles. But they're winning the hustle rebounds tonight.
By the numbers, one of the worst rebounding teams in the league, the Phoenix Suns. But it's not how high you jump, it's where you are and when you jump.
Give you a chance to look at the numbers here at the half.
Points in the paint, plus 14. That should be a complete reversal. Lakers bench giving them nothing.
There is Cook, able to knock down the field goal, his second of the night. Cook and Kwame Brown, 2 starters up front, only gave Phil Jackson 14 minutes, 1 of 7 from the field, and 2 points in the first half.
Critical time right now for Phoenix. They can really come out and push the pace here. The Lakers, who had the overtime game, Nash once again, he looks at Odom and treats him as a sight.
Well, Lamar keeps thinking that he's going to take me in, and he's backed up on him twice, and knocked down hoops. That time, a 3-pointer. Nothing going here. Parker with 8 to shoot.
Forrest Dial, such a cerebral player.
Kobe has to bail them out again, and he does one more time. He has 33 of the Laker 57, and he's done it, Bill, on 21 shots, much better than the normal ratio of shots, 2 attempts for Bryant.
Last night, Kobe Bryant, 13 for 32.
James Jones, off the dribble handoff, the rebound for Lamar Odom. Odom only scored 4 in that first half. Near turnover, Bell wins the battle on the floor. Almost too much from Nash.
Never let the show get in the way of the game. And right now the Lakers tantalizingly close. And with Kobe as hot as he is, just milk him. It's not like he's going to get tired or wear down. I'm not sure if there's a more supremely conditioned athlete in the game today than Kobe Bryant.
He's the only guy for the Lakers who's in rhythm offensively right now. A 3-second violation called on Kwame Brown.
Apparently Kwame fell asleep on the play in 24 seconds. You almost have to be somnambulent before your team ever gets the ball to fall asleep into a 24-second period.
Nice thesaurus pull, Bill. Off the Marion miss, the rebound by Lamar Odom.
What does thesaurus mean? Come on, Lamar Odom. Come on, Kwame Brown. You guys should be punishing these little Phoenix Suns. I don't understand this.
This is a poor effort. Kobe's brilliant 33, really covering up a very poor game. The rest of the Lakers are 9 of 29 from the field. Their starting three bigs against the Phoenix Suns have 8 points on 4 of 12 from the field.
But this would be a perfect opportunity for Kobe to calmly walk over to Lamar and Kwame and say, hey, come on, you guys, let's get going. We got a chance. We need to win this game. Sacramento is playing the Clippers tonight.
That game's tight. Of course, the Sacramento Kings are in the 8th spot in the Western Conference playoffs. The Lakers the 7, and again, this would be the first-round matchup, and Phoenix has won all 6 meetings between these teams since Steve Nash came over from Dallas.
Look at that. His skill level, his physical fitness level, unsurpassed. I know we see LeBron James do incredible stuff. Offensive foul. Sean Marion just throwing Smush Parker out of the way.
Very quiet night for Sean. He has 2 personal fouls, but only 2 points on 1 of 3 from the field. Sean Marion is right up there in the top of the league standings. The only player in the top 20 in points, boards, steals, blocks, field goal percentage, and minutes.
The versatility is interchangeable. Nice pass, Kwame Brown. Finally, a combination play.
And for as poor as the Lakers are playing, they are within 6. 67-61. Parker takes it away from Nash. 3-on-2 LA. Bryant for 3. Kobe Bryant knocks another one down. He has 38 of the Lakers' 64. And Mike D'Antoni has to stop it here.
And we can only hope that Phil Jackson doesn't take Kobe Bryant out of this game.
You know what? The more you see him put on these individual displays,
all Mike D'Antoni can do is call yet another timeout.
Well, Phoenix struggles defensively, as we know. 27th of the 30 NBA teams, as far as D out of the hoop there to make it a 5-point game. And Bryant's the leading scorer in the league, so logic would lead you to believe Kobe should have a good day. But Kobe's been brilliant the last couple of weeks, and Phoenix defense has been as poor as it has been at any time this season. And the two are intersecting here for a huge Bryant game. Push Parker.
Mike, I hate to disagree with you. You being the king of ESPN and ABC and everything, and the new Monday Night Football broadcaster and everything, and ABC on Sunday broadcast.
Our offensive foul, Bill. Lamar Odom shaking up here as he reties his shoes.
But
go ahead.
Just because Phoenix gives up the 3rd most points per game in the NBA, only Seattle and Toronto worse than them, doesn't mean they're a poor defensive team. They play a faster pace.
And I
would say that Phoenix is a vastly superior defensive team to teams like Houston, who's up near the top.
To Houston?
To Houston. Houston, in my opinion, is a horrendous defensive team.
But
because they slow things down.
Right. You're talking the number of possessions in the game.
Right.
But you would say Phoenix is a good defensive team. Bryant, Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown, Lakers are right there.
By Kobe. You'd say Phoenix is a good defensive team.
They're not as good as Detroit.
Raja Bell is 3, 72-66.
They are a good defensive team.
Fine. Are they a good enough defensive team to advance to the playoffs when stops matter the most? Bryant for 40. Kobe Bryant, 40 points here in 2.5 quarters tonight.
Phoenix is going to have a tough time in this year's playoffs. Without Amari, without Kurt Thomas. And right now, they just basically have to play for fun and have a good time.
Off the Barbosa miss. Here comes Lamar Odom.
Which is what they're doing right now. And I'm sorry for smiling on a cloudy day here.
No, that's fine. It's a nice conversation between two friends. Bad pass by Cook.
Just remember, when everybody thinks alike, nobody thinks.
Oh my goodness.
And it's Kurt Thomas, still on crutches, still in the cast, and it's okay to disagree, just don't be disagreeable.
Do I have to pay for this speech?
No, we have a fine game here tonight. The Lakers are right there, and this game is more important to Phoenix than it is to Los Angeles, psychologically.
Sasha Vujacic comes back in. Phil Jackson, he has in his mind that he may see Mike D'Antoni's team come to playoffs here in a few weeks, so he's seeing what lineups are working, in addition to Kobe going off for big points, to see where matchup-wise he can find a way to slow down that Suns' frenetic pace that your team gets caught up in so often.
And these two teams play once again in the regular season at Staples Center, April 16th on ABC.
Second game of our Easter Sunday NBA doubleheader. Inside Diaw. Lamar Odom just put his hand right up, forced it out of bounds with 6 to shoot.
Boris Diaw, defense from the Houston Rockets, 42 at Denver.
You're brutal. Nash with a miss. Kobe has 40 here tonight, so he's gone over the 40-point mark, continuing to extend that record out that he set against Denver last night. Most 40-point games by a Laker in franchise history within, of course, the same season.
Great pass by Lamar Odom.
And as Kwame Brown went inside, the foul was called on Sean Marion. That will be his third personal.
Kobe Bryant is playing in such a zone right now that everybody else seems like they're in slow motion. And then Kwame Brown does appear to be playing in slow motion, because that ball right there was right on the mark. Lamar Odom, a superb passer. And Kwame Brown didn't even move for it until it was almost all out of his range.
The Miami Heat in Washington on NBA TV, 7 Eastern tomorrow. ABC's NBA Sunday begins with the pregame 12:30 Eastern, followed by the Pacers against the Pistons. That game available in high definition. And on TNT next Thursday, the Knicks in Cleveland, and the Suns taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Coverage there beginning at 8 Eastern. 72-68. Suns have led most of the way. They've led by as many as 14 here tonight.
Ooh, just off the mark.
And it's been a struggle for Marion. Just 2 points, 1 of 4 from the field. The double comes now with Marion helping out on Kobe.
I would start doubling Kobe almost every possession, wherever he is on the court.
And force somebody else to make a shot. Lamar Odom off the miss, and Marion gets his 10th rebound of the night.
Love it when Steve comes up the court rubbing his stomach like that.
Barbosa, a 3. 7 of 9 for the field. Leandro has 18. And Phil Jackson, unhappy with the Lamar Odom effort, calls a timeout.
Steve Nash trying to become the 9th player in NBA history to win consecutive MVPs. Will we see a big push right now? Lakers are there. Suns seem to be surging right now.
Organization there.
Hard to imagine a team doing more in their community than what Phoenix does. And that comes from the top, Jerry Colangelo, the Hall of Famer here. What he's done in building this community, bringing water to the desert here. Just a spectacular commitment to making this place and world a better place.
Here's Kwame Brown inside. Nice movement that time by the Lakers as the Suns were switching on defense. It is a 5-point game. Phoenix trying to get to 50 wins. Of course, they got there last year, a year after they had a 50-loss season.
Phoenix has been outscored by 7 points in this quarter. Tim Thomas has just been an absolute non-factor, continuing to lose the ball time and time again.
Sasha Vujacic, who has no points in his 13 minutes here tonight. See if they can go back inside to Kwame, and Tim Thomas fighting for position. Yeah, let's see. 3 seconds call here? Yep. 3 seconds on Kwame Brown.
That's his second in the last 4 possessions.
Not a good sign. I mean, Kwame is in for Chris Mim and Andrew Bynum, the other 2 bigs on this Laker roster who are out with injury. Lakers hope to get them before the playoffs begin. Steve Nash continues. He has 22 points, and his 8 assists have led to approximately 18 more Phoenix points.
Steve Nash just keeps getting better. Last year he was phenomenal. This year he is significantly better than that.
No help for Bell, who fouls Kobe on the way up. It will be 3 on Raja Bell.
I like D'Antoni's strategy. Try your best against Kobe, but don't let the other guys get off. I mean, you see it work time and time again. You know, Russell did it against Chamberlain. That was one of the few ways you could have success against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He would get 40 or 50, but nobody else could get involved. And Magic came and turned all that around. Sometimes it would work against Jordan. With the Laker bench only contributing 4 points tonight.
2 from Luke Walton, 2 from Devin George. Luke comes in for Kwame Brown. Kobe has 40. He's missed a couple of free throws. He has a chance to set the arena record for points here tonight. Amari Stoudemire had 50 right after New Year's last year, and Clifford Robinson had 50 against Denver when Uncle Cliffy was a Sun back in 2000. So 50 is the all-time arena record. 41 for Kobe here, late third.
But not the franchise record. They used to play in the Madhouse in McDowell Street. And Wilt has that record, as he does most records, at 66.
Steve Nash shut off by Vujicic. You think you're seeing a little more Vujicic tonight because of the speed factor with Phoenix?
No, Vujicic plays a lot. He's a good player.
He's okay, Bill. I mean,
he's a good player.
Lamar Odom showing those flashes of brilliance that have been more evident here in the month of March and early April.
And when you can do that against this defense, you know you've really got a game.
4-point game. 2 minutes left here in the third. Nice spin by Nash on Smush Parker. You set him up so beautifully.
The thinking man's game. And that's what's so beautiful about the Detroit Pistons, who right now are clearly the class of the league.
Pistons lost tonight to Orlando. Interesting to watch before the ball gets to Kobe. The Raja Bell contact. Smush Parker on the switch inside. Got some space. 4-point game.
Pistons losses this year have always been the night after their best performances of the year. They had one of those last night at Miami.
Kobe has to be careful and pick up a technical foul, and he does. He picked up the personal and the technical. That is technical number 14 on Kobe Bryant. Last Friday on ESPN, he picked up a technical that was his 14th. Let's watch this. Calls for the foul, and then he goes over, grabs the ball in anger, and picks up the tee. Let me just finish this.
Sure.
The Kobe technical called last week for shoving the ball back in the official, I think it was Greg Willard.
Greg Willard, yes.
That was rescinded by the league, so he was back to 13 before this one. The reason it's significant this year, as you saw with Rasheed Wallace earlier this week, 16 technicals is an automatic 1-game suspension, but that number doesn't carry over to the playoffs. Your technical ticker starts anew when the postseason goes.
I think it's a great rule. I'd even like to see it tightened up even more. Start at 10.
But I think it's good.
Why wait till 16?
Steve Nash hit the tee, minute 26 left. What I like is the league is willing to rescind a technical if the officials were at fault, just like they do with flagrant foul. And I think that puts teeth and respect in the rule. Odom, beautiful job at the rim. 2 Lakers are there for the block.
Lamar Odom's come alive here.
Yeah, well, he made a good move and made a great move there. Back-to-back, stupendous move by Odom.
And now the Lakers, with their defense, has forced the Phoenix Suns into playing half-court basketball, not the strength of their game.
Barbosa splits the switch, never got to the rim, looking for the foul. Here come the Lakers. Kobe's trailing the play. Vujicic, Luke Walton.
Beautiful ball movement, the triangle.
Kobe trying to direct Sasha out of the way. Vujicic missed it. Luke Walton hustles for the rebound. And Kobe's saying, guys, if you don't get me the ball, I will not be happy.
I mean, how could you not think to get it to Kobe Bryant every play? Last shot time here for the Lakers.
It's a 5-second difference, but Kobe, he's lining up in that last shot mode where he's going to clear out. He wants to take it.
I would just come and double team him right now.
There he goes. Foul.
Geez, so long.
10 points, 9 rebounds as he sits. Bryant, who has been at his best statistically this year in the third and fourth quarter, has put up double figures in each quarter tonight.
But the fact that Kobe Bryant averages more than 20 points per game, more than Lamar Odom, the second leading scorer. And that disparity right there. Now, we're not talking about Wilt Chamberlain when he was averaging 50, but that is a huge disparity between the leading scorer and second leading scorer, Lamar Odom, who's at 14.5 points per game.
Kobe has 43. Barbosa maxed the time till he got to the stripe. Pitched in the corner. Tim Thomas.
Whoa.
Side with a three. Chance for a good shot from Vujacic.
Oh!
As we get to the end. Off we'll go to the fourth quarter here in Phoenix. Time for our Chevrolet Skate Track. Show you how we've arrived at Suns 80, Lakers 79. Sean Marion, 10 boards, only 2 points, 1 of 4 from the field. He scores 21.5 a game. Always seems to get a double-double. Steve Nash has been excellent as usual. 25 points, 8 assists, a couple in the brilliant variety. But no one has topped Kobe Bryant, who in the last 4 games has scored 43, 42 last night, 43 here tonight. Due start 2 weeks from tomorrow. Marion starts the third with an alley-oop from Barcia.
This is such a beautiful play, and that is why I love Boris Diaw. As the most improved player, as one of my favorite players in the entire NBA. The creativity of Boris Diaw. And things are changing right now because the Lakers have come alive defensively. Boris Diaw runs this high screen play where, like James Worthy and Magic used to run in the Lakers in years gone by. Just a thing of beauty and the creativity of Boris Diaw.
Eddie House, the fourth quarter is his time. This is there. Diaw the rebound. Statistically, House has been so strong in this fourth during the year. Marion rims one out, and Devin George gets the board.
Fourth quarter is Kobe Bryant, the NBA's leading scorer in the fourth quarter. Kobe Bryant averages almost 20 points per game in the second half alone.
Push Parker shoots over Marion and misfires. Rebound by Sean. It's 11 now.
Phoenix only scored 16 points in that third quarter. That is not their game at all. Lakers have tightened it up defensively.
James Jones. Remember when he was in Indiana with the Pacers, he was one of those guys first in, last out of the gym. Worked so hard on his individual skills. Moving over here to Phoenix in this open offense has shown some of those skills here this year.
Just imagine what would happen if Rick Carlisle opened it up offensively. Pacers right now really having a tough go of it.
Odom, the air ball defended by Jones, who leaked out.
What is Kobe Bryant doing on the bench here?
Getting a rest, Bill, as House misses.
Kobe Bryant doesn't need a rest.
Bill, he
can rest in July, okay?
He scored a very taxing 42 with a lot of attempts through overtime last night.
If they don't win this game tonight, they might be resting by April 20th.
Lakers not in the playoffs just yet as the Hornets continue to win, putting pressure on Sacramento and the Lakers. 4 shooting start both sides as this fourth quarter has begun. Lakers scoreless for 2.5. There's House. He's going to keep shooting until he made one. And Phil Jackson will call timeout as the Suns have scored the first 6 of the fourth quarter.
I would think that Kobe Bryant will be back. They never should have taken him out in the first.
7 points. The Phoenix lead.
NBA basketball on Mike, back to you.
Thank you, John. Sports Center after us. ESPN News always on. We'll be there for a post-game extra in a little bit. The house is rocking here during the timeout. Coyotes will miss the playoffs this year, but Wayne looking forward to success for next season. Seated next to Wayne, his wife Janet, who obviously has been in the news a lot before the litigation still pending and a lot of legal matters of that sort, but they are both in attendance here tonight. Having a lot of time in L.A. where the Janet and Gretzky still have a residence, and of course, as Wayne said, here to see that other Canadian in Phoenix, Steve Nash, who is on the bench for the moment as Phoenix has scored the first 6 points of this fourth quarter. Lamar Odom misfires, couldn't keep it alive. Kobe came in at the timeout, was pushed by the Suns.
And you know what's great about Gretzky and Little Stevie? Is neither one of those guys were imposing physically.
And they still aren't.
No. But over the top.
Marion!
Boris Diaw. That's who I'm talking about.
8-0 run to start the quarter.
And how the greatest team players right now in basketball, none of them born in the United States. Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Stevie Nash, Boris Diaw.
Luke Walton, the hoop, gets the Lakers on the board here in the fourth. 88-81. You mentioned team players. You think of Gretzky and Nash. Those are two guys who, within their sports, have made the assist cooler than the score. Barbosa.
I got to listen to Bob Miller call all of Wayne Gretzky's games. What a thrill that was.
Diaw is called for the foul, or Diaw was fouled, excuse me.
Because I know nothing about hockey.
Oh, you do.
I'll put it on your knees.
You mentioned Bob Miller. Bob,
the Hall of Fame broadcaster.
Yes, and still voice of the Los Angeles Kings. Barbosa takes Devin George.
Sean Marion, he has worked his way into a professional game here.
Well, he was having an awful scoring game, but has scored 6 points here in the frame. Phoenix has outscored LA 10-2 in the first 4.5 of this fourth quarter, and it's right about time for Kobe Bryant to get his first shot of the fourth.
Raja Bell working so diligently. That's tremendous defense there. Now attack Kobe. Raja Bell running out. Good for it. How about when you have your center driving the ball up court? Joakim Noah.
Out of three.
This sellout crowd here at US Airways, they're just salivating here. They love nothing more than to beat the Lakers, who have owned Phoenix historically.
13-2 here in the quarter. Bryant off the screen, misses the three. He's missed both shots here in the quarter. Devin George gets the rebound. Remember, the Lakers had an overtime game in Denver, got in late last night. So fourth quarter, leg advantage to the Suns.
Push it if you're Phoenix. Don't slow it down and wait for anybody.
Eddie House.
We've made notice tonight about how the Lakers have never beaten Steve Nash as a Phoenix Sun. Kobe Bryant using the stiff arm to get open.
He's just so determined to get a basket there that it's now 45 for Bryant.
But there is a correlation between Steve coming here to Phoenix,
Eddie House,
and Shaq leaving Los Angeles.
A dozen points for Phoenix, more than LA in this quarter. Steve Nash on the bench through this stretch.
Wasn't this a one-point game a moment ago?
At the start of the quarter, Sasha Vujacic more than half of his attempts to threes, but they did a good job to get out of Kobe's hand.
And they're doing this with little Stevie on the bench.
Yep.
So he's going to come in fresh as could be. Remember the game that the Suns lost to the Clippers Wednesday night? First game back from the road trip, always the toughest. And Boris Diaw is putting on an absolute clinic. The jump hook invented by Billy the Hill McGill on the playgrounds of Los Angeles in the 1950s, now taken to its highest art form with Boris Diaw.
Well, they knew here with Kobe. Diaw got him. Kobe misfired. He's taken 4 shots in a row. Odom the rebound, and Lamar will get to the line after for this entire quarter. Phoenix Suns have made a 1-point game, 15. ESPN
of 19 assists in one game as the Celtics routed Minneapolis 123-110 to a 4-game sweep of the finals. Dan Marley did not play in that game. But imagine how much the league has changed in that the finals were over
right now
at this point 47 years ago.
And just think, America would have had 2 less months of you. The education that they are now getting because we're 2 weeks away from the playoffs. Odom hits the free throws, 13-point
we can
game.
only thank David Stern because it was 17 years ago tonight that they allowed the NBA to get into the international game with the Olympics. And that's what gets guys like Little Stevie and Boris Diaw into this great NBA.
George misses the three. Rebound by Sean Marion, who's high on him up. Marion and Diao have 25 of the Phoenix 37 rebounds. This will be a key couple of minutes. See if the Lakers can get back in it. Walton Steele starts it. Beautiful hit ahead to Kobe.
Nice anticipation. Kobe Bryant finishing powerfully over the top.
Lakers, come on, say it.
It has to happen right now. That was a good pass.
Yeah, it was a great pass by your son. Come on.
Well, it's good when you catch him, too.
Oh, great pass, Walton. Here's Barbosa answering to make it 13 points. Phoenix leads. Suns over 100 one more time.
For only the second time in the last 12 games for Laker opponents to be over 100. Last night was an overtime. It took Denver to get there.
Walton doubled. Nice find of Parker. Odom inside on Sean Marion. If these teams do meet in the playoffs, that will be fun to watch 5, 6, or 7 games of. Lamar Odom and Sean Marion going head to head.
And if I'm Phil Jackson, I tell Lamar Odom, you're the center. You're the center. Get the big stiffs out of there and get Lamar to play Boris Diaw head to head and bring in your skilled players. More Devin George.
Foul was called on Parker with the body. Here's Lisa Salters with more on the man who has 47 tonight, Kobe Bryant.
Well, my Kobe Bryant teammates say that he is already in playoff mode, and of course with 175 points in the last 4 games, we can kind of see that, but they say where it really stands out is in practice. They say the intensity level at practice has gone way up, much more aggressive, much more physical, mostly from Kobe, and they say they know what he's doing. He's trying to see who's going to be with him once they get to the playoffs. Right?
Nash, air ball to 3, well defended by L.A. Was it deflected?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Referee Orlando's Poole right on it.
Steve looks to shoot.
Steve saying, block the ball. How about the scratch on the elbow here? A replay here. Hit his arm. You're not going to see Steve Nash throw up an air ball like that.
Raja Bell contested shot. Good job by Luke Walton to contest it and leak out. Kobe sitting on 47. Oh, the baseline, the reverse. Bryant 1 point away from his 5th game over 50 this season.
And most importantly, the Lakers are back in this game just down 9. And if Phoenix gets conservative at all and animated, lathered up, Kobe Bryant says, let's go. We've got a chance to win. Hold off the hard-charging Sacramento Kings here.
Delay of game warning called there on L.A. Second one would be a technical. So in this key stretch to see if we're going to have a game, a couple of stops from L.A. And will this be a third? Fighting for it at midcourt. It was deflected. Bryant knocked it away. It comes to Marion. Oh, man.
Boris Diaw again. He's always in the right position. The Lakers, they need to get some of those plays to go their way if they're going to have any chance of winning.
So close to a backcourt violation, but it was deflected. Here's Bryant, 4-3, missing.
And look at little Stevie up there, climbing the backs of everybody, getting the rebound.
Those 2 points for Sean Marion, giving him a double-double for the 58th time this season. That is a career high. Diaw missed, Kobe the rebound. His next point will get him over 50.
You got to take advantage of numbers here. Boris Diaw slow to get back. He was down. Kobe Bryant cannot get it.
Devin George tried to keep it alive. Jeff Kersey says it was George touching it last. So with only a minute and 53 remaining, the Lakers are down 11. Once again with 49, but likely not to be enough.
They came all the way back. Should have won that game against Denver. Right now, though, Phoenix has owned the fourth quarter. They're plus 10 in points. They're shooting 53%, and their defense, the vaunted Phoenix Suns defense, has held the Lakers to 25% shooting.
And Devin George is called with the foul. Did this run and gun, fast-paced, open floor, three-point shooting offense. And Phoenix became the 9th team in the history of the league to go from 50 losses one season to 50 wins the next. Somebody's got to shoot. There's one on the clock. Nash does. Marion a massive rebound. Lakers needed that to have any hope. The man waving his arms bottom of the screen. That's the owner of the Suns, Robert Sarver. leading the cheers courtside for this Phoenix team.
Lakers have given up. They need to foul immediately every time if they have any chance of winning this game.
Sean Marion missed it. Devin George goes up and gets it. We approach a minute.
I want to salute Boris Diaw for the performance he put on tonight.
0 of 3. Needed that. 8-point game. 57.4 to go.
Boris Diaw, 12 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 53% shooting.
Almost had the steal. Marion has the dunk. All 5 starters, 7 Suns in all, in double figures, on this 104-94 lead. Bush Parker taking the direction from Kobe, and Bryant is fouled by Raja Bell.
Robert Sarver from San Diego, the University of Arizona, bought the team from Jerry Colangelo, and the vision to somehow acquire Boris Diaw. And when you look at Boris Diaw, what he's done to this franchise, has changed everything. And as we celebrate his brilliance, and when you talk to Boris Diaw, what a classical human being he is. It was 201 years ago today that Beethoven Symphony No. 3 in E flat, which escorted in the age of romanticism in music. And when I look at Boris Diaw, I think of Beethoven and the age of the Romantics. This guy has got it all.
You know, the Beethoven and the Romantics never mentioned very often in the same phrase. Here's Kobe with a chance to get to 50 for the 5th time this season. So Bryant has done that now 10 on his career. 5 50-point performances now. He's done it 5 times within this season.
And as we celebrate with Kobe and the incredible performance and run he's put on, you always see the numbers. Well, Kobe Bryant, first time in 35 years. Kobe Bryant, first time in 40 years. All of those references, they all have to do with Wilt Chamberlain. Because if Wilt Chamberlain is in the conversation, then none of this stuff has any sort of relevance.
Nice job by Nash not to go into the backcourt. Barbosa backing it out is an 8-point lead here in the closing seconds. Phoenix on its way to a 50th win, and Barbosa makes them happy with the 3. See if the Lakers will hoist one up. As time runs down, Devin George will have it. Take the 3 and miss it at the buzzer. 107-96. Kobe with 51. 5th time this year he's gone over 50, but it's a loss as he sets an arena